Hello. My name is Callista, and welcome back to Contradiction, Spot the Liar. In the last episode, we finally got to meet Ryan Rand, the head at Atlas, the business training course that Kate was on. And we also learned that apparently there was another suspicious death in the village, another supposed suicide a year before Kate killed herself, which is incredibly unusual. Incredibly unusual for a village of this size. Now then, we had just asked about the driving license, so yeah, Simon's bicycle.
Does Simon Thompson ride a bike, do you know?
I think so, yes. I think he drives as well, but I might be mistaken.
Okay. I feel like this is a red herring. I feel like this game is gonna have a lot of, threads that probably aren't gonna go anywhere, and I get the feeling that the bicycle is one of those. And yeah, the bike. Yeah, Simon's homebrew.
Have you tried Simon's homebrew?
Does he make homebrew? No, I haven't had the pleasure, sorry.
Okay. And the freedom necklace.
Know what this is?
Yes. It's a freedom necklace. It's a symbol that we use on the course. It's supposed to represent freedom from the chains of your ancestry.
Have you ever bought one of these?
I haven't, but I've seen the students wearing them.
Oh. Okay, that's interesting. It's used on the course. Ooh, that's... God, there's something percolating in my brain, and I'm just having trouble putting my finger on it. That is a direct connection. A direct connection. The game wouldn't make that unless it was important. We know that Emma had one, and she gave it to Kate. Emma said that she got hers in college, though, and Simon started Atlas 18 months, I think it was, after he left college. And that was when he took Emma with him. So Emma... That timeline doesn't add up, but... Here's the thing, if this is something that is used specifically on the course, and if my theory from before is right, that, James was the one who got Emma... Here's the thing, James could have been on this course, and he could have gotten the necklace, and he could have given it to Emma. However, I'm gonna be honest, James himself said he wasn't interested in business, and I can't see him taking up a business management course. That does not sit right with me, so I think I may have to retract my previous theory. I can't see James going onto the course to get one of these. So I don't think that James was the one who gave Emma the necklace, but then again, who would have? We know that Emma and Ryan were having an affair. However, they only met 18 months after she started after she left college, excuse me. Hold up. Oh no, there's something in my brain. Fuck it.
Okay, that's it for now. Thank you.
I'm gonna go back to that in a minute. Is there any way I want to see... Oh. That's it. Emma had been on a similar course before. I'm trying to put my thoughts into words. Something that I'm thinking of MLMs specifically, and you know, kind of shady businesses that really aren't businesses. They're kind of just, you know, they're basically like glorified money laundering scams. Because if I'm being honest, that's kind of what I kind of get the feeling that Atlas is something like that. Everything I've heard about it has, you know, it's been a load of tat, a load of weird kind of nonsense. I'm like, how does this teach you about business? You're wearing masks and saying boastful stuff, what? A lot of shady businesses, they'll go for a while, then, you know, there'll be a load of heat, and they will close, and they will rebrand. I'm wondering if maybe that's what's been going on with Atlas. They were a different company. Emma went to that, decided it wasn't for her. And then that would be when she got the necklace. Because here's the thing, most of these businesses, they'll keep the same practices. They're too lazy to, like, you know, like, oh, we'll think of new stuff. Like, why bother when you have all of this old shit from the previous business? So they were probably using the fucking freedom necklace doodads on the old course. And that would explain why she got it in college. And that would also be a, you know, like, she goes and she's like, oh shit, it's these guys again. I'm fucking out. Ooh. Because that's an odd statement to have, like, oh, I had been on something similar, so I knew I wouldn't like it. Why add that in? She could have just said, oh, I went once, but I decided it wasn't for me. I just wasn't into it. Like, they could have gone that, but no, they specifically dropped that I went to a similar course before. And that's how I knew I wouldn't be down for this, because it was being run by the same people. I'm gonna put a pin in that. Right there.
A few more questions, please. Thank you.
Now then, where was I? We were up to the freedom necklace. Okay.
What do you know about the broken window at the back of the pub?
Oh, Rebecca told me about it. I don't know how it got smashed, though. I told her to tape over it. We can't have anybody cutting themselves. You have to be very health and safety conscious these days.
Okay, can we... I get this is the same tape. This is the exact same tape. God, I can see a connection, but there's no contradiction. Yeah, he doesn't talk about the tape in the driving license question. Oh, that's a bugger.
Can you tell me about this?
Haven't seen that for a while. I had a friend who used to make them for us for the course. He passed away last year.
What does the symbol mean?
It's borrowed from paganism. It's the symbol of the triple goddess, the mother, maiden, and crone, represented by the waxing and waning of the moon. It's an ancient symbol. It predates Christianity. Some people say that it dates back to Paleolithic times.
And is that relevant to the course?
Well, no. I mean, it's a symbol we dabbled with, but it's not particularly relevant. We don't use it on the course, no.
One, made by a friend who died last year. We know Liam died last year. Again, a very odd detail to just throw in there if it's completely meaningless. 2, why are you all using these symbols on a business course? What does paganism have to do with business management? Because you've got like this the triple moon doodad. You also have the Illuminati eyeball on the Atlas advertising poster. What is with all of these kind of culty symbols that y'all are throwing into your advertising? That doesn't make much sense to me.
Do you know anything about an argument in the pub last Friday?
What time?
I believe it wasn't long after the pub opened.
No. I usually leave for the manor house about 6. I start preparations around 6:30. I like to get a head start.
Okay. Also, speaking of the pub, Rebecca and Emma. Again, I mentioned this before. I remember this. I was saying they hired very similar looking actresses. Did he go after Emma because she reminded him of his wife? But Emma's a lot more demure than Rebecca. Rebecca has this smugness, this hardness about her. So I wonder if Ryan was like, ooh, you look like my wife, but you're not as imposing. And I find that attractive. What is the purpose of the eyes? What is this?
Tell me about this.
It's the first one we ever had made. We had it designed by an agency after we'd spent weeks trying to find a name for this place.
It took you weeks?
Don't be like that, Inspector. I thought it was a rather grand name. Actually, if I'm being honest, I plucked it out of thin air one night in the George while I was having a few gin and tonics. Well, actually, somebody left a book and I stole it.
You stole Atlas Shrugged? How dare you, sir? How dare you?
Have you seen one of these before?
I believe that looks like a scrying mirror to me.
You have seen one before?
Well, I used to have one myself, actually, along with lots of other bits and pieces of that nature. Silly things, you know.
Really?
Yes, when I was in my teenage years, I had quite an obsession with that kind of thing. I was a very somber child, and well, not that you could tell, always playing fantasy games, reading books about that kind of malarkey, you know.
What sort of books did you read?
Well, books on black magic, not the chocolates, witchcraft, satanic rituals, that kind of thing. I grew out of it, of course.
But you're not into that sort of thing now.
Of course I'm not. I don't need to believe in the supernatural, Inspector. The natural world is far more interesting. Don't you think so?
1. Who lets their child read books on satanic rituals? Pardon? I don't have anything against Satanism. You do you. As long as you're not hurting anyone. Like, fuck it. You do you. You want to be a Satanist, a pagan, a Christian, a Buddhist, whatever. Fuck it. You do you. But, like, I don't think I'd let a child read books on satanic rituals. That seems a bit dodgy to me. Also, this is gonna sound very superficial. I want to know how this man seduced 2 very attractive women. I desperately want to know that. I mean, he's not, I wouldn't call this guy ugly by any stretch of the imagination. Admittedly, I don't mean this in a mean way. He does rather remind me of a lizard. I like lizards, but when they were saying, oh, he's a Lothario, I'm like, this was not the image I had created in my brain. And what was it? The natural world is so much more fascinating. I don't know. I'm like, how? Because the actresses who play Rebecca and Emma are both very beautiful. I'm like, how did you get both of these women, sir? How did you do this? Like, what book were you reading from? Because I can't. I was thinking maybe he had like a very, magnetic personality. And I will say, I do find him... Excuse me, my throat is giving out. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ. Ooh. My apologies, I'm gonna take a drink. I'm gonna be honest, I probably shouldn't be recording right now. I probably should be resting my throat. However, I so desperately wanted to play this. It's been about a week since I recorded episodes 1 and 2, and I couldn't get it out of my mind. So I desperately wanted to record this, and then, obviously I did a lateral flow test, and it was like, this is why you've been feeling like shit the past few days. You've got the virus. And I was just like, oh, great. Okay. That's better. The actor is very engaging. Like I said, I feel like I'm being incredibly judgmental. I've said this guy looks like a lizard. I've said that his personality seems a little bit fucked, and I don't mean that as a diss to the actor. The thing about him looking like a lizard, maybe, whatever. And lizards are cute. Lizards are beautiful. Reptiles are amazing. I love them to pieces. But he's very engaging, but I think that's the actor rather than the character. Like, he's saying things, and I'm kind of like, How did you seduce these two beautiful, beautiful women? I do not understand this. Okay, Liam's death. Yes, a student called Liam died last year under similar circumstances to Kate. Was it suicide? It's suspicious.
What can you tell me about Liam?
Oh, Liam. You mean the boy who committed... Very unfortunate, isn't it?
Did you know him?
Oh, yes. Well, I say know him. I met him in the pub. Seemed very happy sort of person. Well, I say he seemed happy. He can't have been, can he?
Okay. And Jenks. I want you to do this, but I also don't because you're a police officer. But look, did you take a photo of it on your phone? I'd accept that, but like, Jenks, what?
If I did this,
Jenks.
Would that mean anything to you?
It's a devil's sign, isn't it? Is that what you're getting at, Inspector?
This is not something you use on the course.
Of course it's not something we use on the course, Inspector. I don't even know what that could possibly mean, exactly.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, you were literally just saying... Where is it? Yeah, you're saying you don't know anything about this satanic sign, but you used to read about satanic rituals. Oh, okay, that isn't a contradiction. Ooh. I guess doesn't know how it could be used on the course. Okay, I will accept this.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Okie doke, but that is Ryan talk to. Let's see what the others have to say on Liam's death. That's the one I'm most interested in. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think anyone is gonna have anything super informative to say about the rock-on symbol.
Ask you a couple more things, please.
Okay, yeah. Do you know anything about Liam?
What do you know about a student called Liam? Committed suicide last year.
Only that I didn't know him really well.
Okay. Okay, so she did know him, at the very least. Is it just... Oh, hold up. Why can't I click to go visit Simon? Okay, whatever. She seemed really upset at that. I'm gonna replay this.
What do you know about a student called Liam? Committed suicide last year.
Only that I didn't know him really well.
Yeah. She did a nervous swallow at the end when she was like, I didn't know him very well, and she kind of gulped. Ooh. I don't know how much I trust that.
If I did this, would it mean anything to you?
No. Why?
It's okay, thanks.
Jenks, you beautiful man.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Okay, did he leave? Oh.
There you go. Come on. Cute. Smells nice. What is that?
Chili pork.
I had no idea you were a cook.
Oh no, I used to be more into it. No, I don't do it so much. Used to grow my own herbs and everything.
What, here?
No. At the farmhouse where I used to live.
Oh, where was that?
That's where James lives. Yeah, we used to share a house together. The farmer used to let us use a corner of his greenhouse to grow stuff.
I didn't know you knew James that well.
Well, didn't really get on.
Where are the greenhouses?
Well, it's just through the farmyard at the back.
Interesting.
Okay. Ooh.
What do you know about Liam?
Liam?
Local lad. Took his life.
Oh, that Liam. Yeah, I heard about him.
But you didn't know him?
No, I know he went to college, but didn't really know him. It's sad though.
I guess maybe because everyone keeps talking about college, so I'm assuming that nearby there must be like a pretty big local college. And it just makes sense afterwards to move into Edenton because it's so close by. I'm slightly more inclined to believe Simon when he says, "Oh, I didn't really know anything about Liam," because again, there really wasn't any signs of like nervousness, whereas Emma. Like she gulped, she was looking down, she was avoiding eye contact. If I'm being honest, she almost looked like she was going to cry. Then again, I get the feeling that Simon is a better liar than Emma. Emma wears her emotions and her heart on her sleeve. So Simon could have known Liam, he's just better at covering that.
If I did, this, would that mean anything to you?
Who did you see doing that?
Someone in the woods, carving it into a tree.
That was Kyle. It's a guy from the course, he's an idiot.
And where does he live?
I can't remember, somewhere outside the village? The three fingers thing is something the students started doing. It's something from the course. The three freedoms.
The what?
The three freedoms? It's from the course. It's a phrase.
Free to be free.
Free yourself from the things that are holding you back, right? Things that stop you being successful.
What are they?
There's fear of failure, guilt, and doubting, self-doubt.
You believe that?
Yeah. Guilt ruins lives. It stops you looking forward. It serves no practical purpose. It's basically destructive.
Right.
Free to be free. Not the most original slogan, but I wonder how far this freedom goes.
Ooh. Some of that I could agree with, fear of failure and self-doubt. Those I could agree with. Be free of those things. However, guilt, I disagree when he says, oh, guilt serves no basic purpose. It can just hold you back. Here's the thing. If you're feeling guilty over silly things, over things that weren't your fault, yeah, that serves no purpose. However, if you fuck up, and you fuck up by there's, I don't know, oh, I stepped on a woman's foot on the bus today. I feel so guilty. You should feel guilty for about an hour. And then forget about it, because that's not going to have affected anyone long term. That woman was uncomfortable, when you stepped on her foot, but there's no need to feel excessive guilt over that. However, if it's oh, I ran someone over in my car, whatever, no, you should feel guilty. That's something you should feel guilty over, even if it was an accident. You ran someone over with your car, they could have been seriously injured. Hell, you could have killed them. Big things that affect other people. You should feel guilty. That's what makes us human. I think the idea of oh, guilt serves no purpose. It's lizard brain thinking. It is such lizard brain thinking, and I disagree with it. Also, Callista, what is lizard brain thinking? There are certain people, I guess you might say clinical psychopaths. I would say they have lizard brain, by which I mean they are very cold, very calculating, and they're kind of human emotions, I don't fucking need them. We're all animals. They have that kind of mentality of oh, it's kill or be killed. Free to be free if you'd like. That kind of person who is very much do your own thing, fuck everyone else, human emotions are a weakness, blah blah blah. That is someone who I would say has a lizard brain. They are incapable of feeling emotionally or compassionately. And the idea of oh, we should get rid of our guilt. No, guilt does serve a purpose. It makes us better people. It stops us from being dickheads. So,
That's all for the moment, thank you.
My opinion of Simon has just lowered a little bit.
Do you know the phrase, free to be free?
Yeah. It's an Atlas thing. I first heard it when I went with Simon.
What did they say about it?
They said that you shouldn't feel guilty if you do something wrong. I don't agree with that.
No?
No, I think you should feel guilty if you do something wrong.
What did Simon think?
I don't know, but I don't think he agreed with that either.
Oh, sweetheart, I don't think you know your boyfriend as well as you think you do. I'm in full agreement with Emma here. If you do something wrong, you should feel guilty. I will argue that superfluous guilt over small things that no one really got hurt. Like I said, standing on someone's foot, or you walk through a door, you don't hold it, and the door swings back and smacks someone in the face. Those are things I would argue are superfluous guilt, or things that weren't even your fault. Oh, this thing happened and I feel guilty about it, but you weren't even involved in it. Those are times when I'm okay, this isn't on you. You don't need to feel guilty about it. But if you do something wrong, then just be oh, well, fuck it, I'm not going to feel any guilt. No, I disagree with that. I disagree with that completely.
Be back later on, if that's okay.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. We'll make our way down to James. I'm I'm almost out of time, so you know what? I'll quickly stop in with Rebecca. And then I'll make my way over to James, and that's where I'll end the episode.
Just a few more questions, if you don't mind.
Yes, Liam's death.
What do you know about Liam?
You mean Liam who took his life? He used to play in a band, Black Rock or something? No, Black Stone. Very gothic. I used to let them play in here sometimes at the weekends. They were quite good.
Did you know there was anything wrong? I mean, why he might have...
No, I didn't know him very well.
Okay.
If I did this, would that mean anything to you?
Why, is it meant to mean something?
No, it's okay.
It means rock on, love. It means rock on.
Ever heard the phrase, free to be free?
Do you mean the Atlas thing? Yes, I have.
Know what it means?
It means being free of guilt.
What do you think about that?
You mean, do I think it's a bad thing?
Do you? I mean, surely if you have done something wrong...
Oh, but that's the point, Inspector. Most people spend their time feeling guilty over nothing, and that's not a good thing.
I can see where she's coming from. As I said, I do agree with if you're feeling guilty over nothing, then that is something that you should try and free yourself of, maybe with the help of therapy or something like that. However, if you've done something genuinely bad, then yes, you should feel guilty. Like, it's guilt in a way, it's kind of, I would argue guilt is a punishment. You feel bad, and you should, because, you know, there are some things that should be punished.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
And if those things are, you know, like I said, stuff that can't legally be enforced, then like doing something that isn't technically a crime, but other people are suffering for it, then you should feel guilty. You should feel punished. Okie doke. And you know what? I'm gonna end off right here. In the next episode, we will head over to Abbey Farm and talk with James once again. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Kallista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.